How about Shimmy Hawashah, Hamashiach, Wamalaki, about Shim Hawabakakodash, Thumb, the water about Bawa, Kwam Yashbala. Of honor to the apostles, elders, and bishops of Great Millstone, who teaches daily, to the men out there teaching a likewise doctrine and city Shalom. Today we're gonna get into this video, man, where it's a white cop running from a white suspect. And then when the white suspect got back in his vehicle and left, the white cop let him leave. Now, what happened to I was fearful for my life? Because in this video, you can see that this white suspect was trying to get me. But that's not the point, though. The point is, what happened to your life being in danger? You felt like your life was in danger. See, they only play that card when it comes to murdering us. See what I'm saying? And there's a reason for that. And it's right here in Ezekiel chapter 35, verse 5. Because thou hast had perpetual hatred and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, the time of their iniquity had end. Verse 6. Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord power, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Since thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. The Lord finna turn the tables on it. Because the nation of Israel, they owe the Lord a lot of blood, and he about to start collecting. Check this out, verse 7. Thus I will make Mount Seir most desolate, and cut off from it that passeth out, and him that returns. So yeah, the curses are being taken off of us, being put on our enemies as we speak. Now, why is this even allowed in the first place? Because Job chapter 9, verse 24, the earth is given to the hand of the weak, because the face of the judges thereof is not where it is. That's why all this is allowed, because the wicked are in rulership. Now, this is the thing about Esau. With him making the laws, he can choose whether to enforce the law, ignore the law, turn a blind eye. He can choose to do all these things. The police have such a great, big, gray area you can't enforce correctly. Where you can enforce it correctly, you just can't have an Edomite do it, because the Edomite has built-in perpetual hatred for us. Plus the fact that the police department will never be a righteous institution because of how it was founded. It originally began as a slave patrol after the so-called slaves were free. These vigilantes rolled around and just started murdering because it's in their blood to be murderers. They're vigilantes by definition, and they're murderers according to the scriptures. Now, let's get this video real quick. The name of this video is Cop Runs from Violent White Suspect and Let Him Flee. Check this out, y'all.
Cops actually, or the cop runs away from a violent man.
Look at that.
And lets him flee. Here it is.
Step back.
Put up the picture full mass. You mean to tell me, sir, Mr. Officer, you were not in fear of your life?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. What happened to that? Because see, these people, they think they slick, they use the law as a guide to murder and not be found guilty. And there's a scripture on that. Zechariah chapter 11, verse 5, whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty. And they that sell them say, blessed be the Lord, for I am rich, and their own shepherds pity them not. See, they use the disguise of law. And then they get up on these podiums with these fair speeches and these fair lines. But they're murderers in uniform. Now, this officer was clearly in danger, but he went for everything except his pistol. Why? Because this is an Edomite and not a Jake. If it was a Jake doing that, it wouldn't have been enough left for him to bear. But see, as you can see, first he went for the little nightstick, whatever, and then he went for his taser, but he never grabbed his pistol. See?
Because see, typically, when something like this happens, the person is shot.
Exactly.
If they happen to be black, exactly. For sure. Okay? And all the officer has to say, I was in fear of my life. Justified. I'm not advocating that this man should be dead. I am actually glad that preservation of life was honored here. My request is that we work to preserve the life of all. 47-year-old William Williams, a Chula Vista man who allegedly threatened a person with a screwdriver on Thursday near Saratoga Park in Ocean Beach. This is in San Diego, all right? Led police on a brief road chase. It ended in his arrest following multiple traffic crashes, including one involving a police cruiser. San Diego PD were responding to multiple 911 callers, reporting the threatening behavior shortly before 2:30 p.m. SDPD spokesman Darius Jamset G told ABC7 San Diego that minutes later, Williams allegedly aggressively confronted the first officer to arrive. He continued, additional officers were urgently requested. The officer initially attempted to subdue the subject using a stun gun, which proved ineffective. Sounds like superhuman strength to me.
No, it sounds like some good dope to me. Let's go. Yeah, he on that. He on that concoction. He ain't gonna feel no pain. You can shoot him, and he's still gonna keep coming at you. He on that concoction.
After maintaining a safe distance, the officer also employed an expendable baton. Once again, no effect. Superhuman abilities here, right?
No, he on that super cocaine, super crack, super meth, super something.
There's more. In the shocking video, uploaded on Instagram by Connect San Diego, Williams can be heard repeatedly yelling at the officer, do it, then getting shot with the stun gun. Instead of being disabled, however, Williams sort of loudly fake laughed at the officer with his fist clenched and continues to approach him, again yelling, do it. At this point, Williams yells at the officer who is deploying his baton now, shouting, what sounds like fired your gun twice, all right? Now, I want to remind everybody, okay? The officer utilized his non-lethal or what is considered to be non-lethal devices.
Yes, he did. You know why? Because he's another Edomite, not Jake. Edomites, they were never a together people. But the thing is about this case, these Edomites, they don't have perpetual hate toward each other. like they have toward Jake. That's why cops can easily pull over Jake and blow him away for expired tag or some shit like that. It's that perpetual hate.
Against an individual that he knew he was well within his rights to simply shoot. Okay? The mere fact that he decided to go through the protocol of non-lethal, and then the other non-lethal protocol was to what? He ran away. He ran away from him. He did not engage in physical combat. He did not choke him and, execute the guy in front of everybody.
Mm-hmm.
It's a hell of a thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's more. When Williams starts walking away, the officer puts away his baton and follows Williams, walking almost calmly. Who gets into a late model gray Toyota Tacoma, drives away. The officer then runs back to his patrol car, gives chase. In the distance, sirens wail as backup arrives. The suspect then allegedly fled to the east and north, leading a pursuit during which the pickup crashed into a parked car, after which Williams allegedly put his vehicle into reverse. And what did he do? Intentionally rammed into a police cruiser.
Once again, life and death. But they took him into custody in one piece.
A short time later, the suspect ran over a tire flattening spike strip, putting an end to the chase. Nobody killed him. Still, even though officers released a service dog on him, the suspect allegedly remained combative until additional shocks from the stun gun finally subdued him. The spokesperson said Williams was then arrested, apprehended, life intact, taken to the hospital.
Taken to the hospital. Y'all heard that? What they do to Jake? They'll put about 17 rounds in Jake and then cuff his dead body. See how that perpetual hate works? Let's get it again. Ezekiel chapter 35, verse 5. Because thou hast had a perpetual hate and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end. So this basically saying that even though we coming up off the curses, Esau still chooses to murder because he's so used to murder, he doesn't know how to stop. You see what I'm saying? That's why the Lord said this in the next verse. Therefore, as I live, said the Lord power, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Since thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. Now the Lord finna turn the tables on Esau. Now his blood is about to be shed just like Jake's blood, but it's gonna be twice as much. Let's go.
For a precautionary checkup. Due to the vehicle crashes, the electric shocks he sustained and dog bite he suffered prior to surrendering. No other injuries were reported. Williams was expected to be jailed on suspicion of various criminal charges, including evading police, brandishing a weapon, issuing criminal threats, driving while intoxicated, illegal possession of a controlled substance, assault with a deadly weapon, resisting arrest, and hit and run. A small dog that had been inside the suspect's truck during the chase was turned over unharmed to the custody of San Diego Humane Society. Williams, who was being held on a $168,850 bail, is due in court on Tuesday afternoon. Now, naturally, this is an out-of-control situation, right?
Mm-hmm.
Somewhat promoted by the police. What if the individual left and instead of just crashing into the car of somebody else, he crashes into a human being?
Mm-hmm.
Or creates a massive accident?
Right. Because the police did not do their job and subdue this person because of fear. See what I'm saying? But they ain't scared when it comes to shooting us though, for nothing. It's like this man said, that cop had every right to blow this man's head away, blow him away. But he ran. So I propose this question once again. If there is, if an officer can enforce the law, ignore the law, bend the law, break the law at his will, is there, does law really exist? The answer is no. Like I said, cops, they operate inside of a large gray area. And they use that gray area to do what? To murder Jake. That's the whole purpose of the police department, better known as the slave patrol. That's how it started out. Now, why does Esau have this perpetual hatred towards Jake and nobody else? Because the Lord put that enmity between us. Way back in the womb, when Isaac's wife was pregnant, Sarah, they was fighting in the womb. Let's go.
On the streets and highways, he decided to go down because the officer chose not to subdue him or shoot him, right? These are questions he will be able to be asked because he's alive. He will go through the process of due process as mandated by the U.S. Constitution. You, dear brother, have this remarkable ability, Professor, to see societal norms, the abnormality of behavior. All of these things are within the context of your profession. Do you see what I see here? There was a concerted attempt to preserve his life because we know good and damn well he could have laid this guy down.
Salaki, I had to interrupt. I want to do a correction. Isaac's wife was not Sarah. Her name was Rebecca. Sarah, I think, was. Let me find it first. I don't want to lie. Hold on.
Well, thank you. I actually have 2 points to make about this, which do link to my work. First of all, as it turns out, I have a book coming out in January about pretty much this exact point, right? The argument.
Okay, that's what I thought. Salaki, Abraham's wife was Sarah, which was Isaac's mother. Okay, now I got everything. I had to get the family tree straight. Let's go.
I have a book coming out called What We've Become that talks about violence in America. And I basically say, what lessons do we learn by the policing of white Americans? That's kind of this organizing question of the book. Now, in the book, it's very linked to what you just said. I talk about a mass shooter who wasn't a mass shooter yet. He was just an angry white guy with a gun. And the cops kept letting him go, even though it was very clear that he was going someplace bad. They let him keep his guns. And so the question for me that was hard, that kind of led me to read the book is, do we agree with the more lenient approach of letting this guy go? Letting him go, let him go on to commit this mass shooting. And I say very clearly in the book, if he was a young black man, this mass shooting never would have happened. And so what does that mean?
You're right, because he wouldn't have made it to the mass shooting, because he would have been gunned down himself by the cops. Now let's get the book of Isaiah, chapter 26, verse 10. Let favor be shown to the wicked, yet will not learn righteousness. From the land of uprightness will he deal unjustly, and will not behold the majesty of the Lord. We always tell y'all, stop expecting the wicked to be righteous judges. They were not created for that. That's why the Israelites were created, the 144,000. They are the righteous judges that's about to come into power under Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh, under King David. See what I'm saying? So no, these Edomites, they too emotional to be righteous judges, because they let their emotions lead them instead of logic, sound reason. They so butthurt about Jake It just throws all logic out the window, and they go based on emotion. Now I heard a guy say one time that an emotional man is worse than a woman because he's not supposed to be that emotional. He's unbearable. You don't want to be around emotional men because they are also unpredictable, as you can see with Esau Edom. You never know when they're gonna get in their feelings and do some fuck shit. They just hope they don't even show it. They just hold it in and wait for an opportunity. See what I'm saying? While at the same time they're staring you down, plotting. And it only applies to Jacob. No other race, so-called. Because the Lord put that perpetual hate between us. Matter of fact, let's get it in Genesis. This is Genesis chapter 27, verse 41. And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning for my father are at hand. Then will I slay my brother Jacob. And he had that hatred throughout the generation. It increased. That's where it started, though, in the womb with Jacob and Esau.
Policing in this country? Do we want more policing, less policing? And the answer I come to is we want equitable policing, right? We don't want to let mass shooters go. But the rules have to always be transparent and the same for everyone. And so what I argue in the book is we can actually learn about policing from tracking.
No, you can't. The scripture just said you cannot learn righteousness. See, they're also liars. Let's get it again. Let favor be shown to the wicked. This is Isaiah chapter 26, verse 10. Let favor be shown to the wicked, yet will not learn righteousness. He can't learn it, especially when it comes to us. In the land of uprightness will he deal unjustly. See, he cannot learn. Yeah, they get up behind that podium and talk that shit, tell them lies like they gonna, like this America is such a utopia. It's so perfect. They get up there and start talking about equality and fairness and justice for all and all this bullshit. But that doesn't reflect what we see every day in this country, does it? No, it does not. But he's still on that shit. Let's rewind. He talking about some we learn. Y'all ain't learning shit because you still doing the same bullshit. Not only are they murderers, they are also liars and quit.
Read the book is, do we agree with the more lenient approach of letting this guy go? Letting him go, let him go on to commit this mass shooting. And I say very clearly in the book, if he was a young black man, this mass shooting never would have happened. And so
see, he knows the reality of this country. That's why he said it. But watch what he turn around and say after that.
what does that mean for policing in this country? Do we want more policing, less policing? And the answer I come to is we want equitable policing, right? We don't want to let mass shooters go. But the rules have to always be transparent and the same for everyone. And so what
you see how he just contradicted himself? Now, first he said that if it was a black man, he wouldn't even made it to the mass shooting because he was insinuating that the cops would have gunned him down. But almost in the same breath, he talking about equality and all this other shit that they always spew. Let's run it back.
What does that mean for policing in this country? Do we want more policing, less policing? And the answer I come to is we want equitable policing, right? We don't want to let mass shooters go. But the rules have to always be transparent and the same for everyone. And so
the rules need to be transparent and apply to everyone. We know that's not going to happen, don't we, Esau? Long as you in power, there will never be equal justice across the board for everybody because you don't know how to be a righteous judge. You wasn't created for that. You were created to punish us. But see, Your power went to your head. Now you think you just untouchable. You even plotting on going against the Lord. That's why you got a space force. But the Lord said He's gonna break you without hand. It's not even gonna take an hour. So stop believing these people, man, when they start talking that equality for all shit. Because it's not gonna happen as long as Edomites rule this earth.
I argue in the book is we can actually learn about policing from.
No, you can't. Look at all the mass shootings. Well, I ain't gonna say mass shootings, but look at all the unjust deaths caused by police. If y'all were capable of learning, you would have learned this a long time ago. You don't want to learn it because you enjoy murdering Jake.
Tracking the policing of white Americans. And so that's kind of the main point of the book. And then the second point is really linked to that, which is one note about this case is the guy didn't have a gun in his hand, at least. And there's so.
Look how many so-called black people didn't have a gun in their hand. That did not stop the cops from gunning them down, did it? So you could take that bullshit back where you got it from, bro. Look how many unarmed black people died by the hands of police. Now he trying to use that as an argument to say, well, the cop didn't shoot the violent white suspect because he was unarmed. So when did that stop police from ever shooting an unarmed person? Man, go on the bullshit.
So many things about like what happens to assailants when they're armed or not armed. And so I looked through the story pretty quickly, but I guess the question is if this guy had a gun in his own hand, would the outcome have been the same?
No. Well, yeah, it would have been the same. Well, I would say no, because that man, it was obvious that man was on dope. So if that man had a gun, he probably would have shot that cop. And the cop would have did nothing. Because he didn't do nothing then. Well, you Edomites, y'all sad. That's just a sad people, man. See, y'all pride lies and lies. Everything that made you proud is based on a lie. This great country you so proud of is based on a lie. This equality and justice for all, that's a lie. So what are you proud of? You proud of the fact that you get to murder Jake. Matter of fact, a lot of you Edomites out there, y'all said y'all wish y'all could bring the slave days back. Guess what? It's coming back. But guess who's gonna be the slaves this time? Edomites. The Tinky Winkies over there in our land. And all you other nations that benefited from us being in captivity. So you're gonna get what you want. What Esau wants. Esau wants to be population. That's gonna happen too. But it ain't gonna be like he planned it out to be. It's gonna be his own blood getting shed. Slavery coming back, but this time they're gonna be in the chains. Depopulation coming back, and a new world order is coming. But this time you ain't gonna be you ain't gonna be in the ruling chair. You're going to the bottom, and that's where you're gonna stay for the next 1,000 years in captivity until the Lord decides to round y'all asses up and burn you up. You don't believe it? Read the book of Obadiah, chapter 1, verse 18. Matter of fact, I can get it for you. Obadiah chapter 1, verse 18. And the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame, and the house of Esau for stubble, and they shall kindle in them and devour them. And there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for the Lord hath spoken it. Psalm chapter 58, verse 3, the wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. That's why they turn off their body cams. Because they want to get away with murder. And then when they shoot the innocent victim and the victim dies, what they do next? They demonize the victim and victimize themselves. Isaiah chapter 32, verse 7. The instruments of the churl, which is a wicked person, are evil. He devised the wicked devices to destroy the poor with lying words. That's demonization. That's false. That's false accusing. Destroy the poor with lying words. Yeah, that's lying on you all day. Even when the needy speak it right. But all is coming back on them now. Psalm chapter 52, verse 3. Thou lovest evil more than good, and lying rather than to speak righteousness a lot. Yes, they do. They love lies, but they hate to be called a liar. I never understood that dynamic. You love to lie, but you hate to be called a liar. You love to steal, but you hate to be called a thief. You love to murder, but you hate being called a murderer. And then when somebody don't believe your lies, you want to murder them. I never understood that dynamic. I guess the Lord created you to be insane like that. Ecclesiasticus chapter 12, verse 10. Never trust thine enemy, for like his iron rusted, so is his wickedness. Never, I don't care how good they talk. Jake ain't got no business trusting white cops. Because the truth of the matter is, and I brought this up the other day, there's no such thing as a good cop. It's not. The reason I say that is because of the fact that these so-called good cops, they have witnessed or heard dirty cops breaking the law. Did they tell on these cops? No. They protected these cops. So where are they upholding the law? Because they don't want to be ratted out and called a snitch. That's your job to enforce the law, regardless of who breaks it. But see, if another cop breaks the law, then they can't do nothing about that. Well, guess what? You're not a good cop. You just as bad as the one that pulled the trigger. Just because you didn't physically pull the trigger, you ain't no better than him. Because your job is to enforce justice. If you see a murder, an innocent person losing their life to a cop, why are you not enforcing the law? Because you just as dirty as them. But you walk around all prideful with this fake ass pride like you better than them. Bro, you worse than them. So no, it ain't no good cops. Sirach chapter 10, verse 8. Because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another. And we can't wait till it is finished. Psalm chapter 94, verse 21. They gather themselves together against the souls of the righteous and condemn the innocent blood. They gunning down so-called black men for selling bottled water. But did anybody go to jail? No. So how are these good cops enforcing justice? Like all that bullshit. Proverbs chapter 1, verse 11. If they say, come with us, let us lay wait for blood. Let us lurk privily for the innocent without cause. That's them cops hiding in them ditches and shit. And that's not enforcing the law. That's entrapment. Proverbs chapter 6, verse 16. These 6 things doth the Lord hate, there are 7 are an abomination unto him. Verse 17. A proud lip, a lying tongue, and hands that shed innocent blood. Cops have the characteristics of all 3. But you a good cop. What else? Psalm chapter 73, verse 5. They are not in trouble as other men, neither are they plagued like other Edomites. Psalm chapter 58, verse 2. Yet in heart ye work wickedness, ye weigh the violence of your hands in the earth. Daniel chapter 8, verse 25. And through his policy also he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand. Policy, that paperwork, them laws that he writes, them unrighteous decrees. And he shall magnify himself in his heart, and by peace shall destroy many. And he shall stand up against the prince of princes, but he shall be broken without hand. This is what I was telling you when I was talking about the Space Force, how he gonna try to fight the Lord. Yeah. He shall stand up against the prince of princes, and he shall be broken without hand. The Lord is gonna splatter him up, gonna splatter him against the wall like an old fly. Keep going. James chapter 1, verse 8. A double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. A double-minded man can also be very emotional, who is unstable in all his ways, unpredictable in all his ways. Double-minded, emotional. Same thing. Job chapter 15, verse 34. For the congregation of hypocrites shall be desolate, fire shall consume the tabernacles of bridal. Who's the congregation of hypocrites? That man on that video. First he talked about equality. First he talking about if this happened to a black man, he would have made it to the mass shooting because the police would have gunned him down. And in the same breath, he talked about equality and justice for all. That's a hypocrite. Let's keep going. Job chapter 13, verse 4. But ye are forgers of lies, ye are all physicians of no value. That's why they turn off them body cams, so they could victimize the deceased. So like you demonize the deceased and victimize themselves. Oh, he tried to kill me. With what? You had a gun. How he tried to kill you. Huh? But then you saw in the video when it comes to the violent white suspect, he was really trying to get him. Why did he not shoot? Because he does not have the same perpetual hatred towards Edom as he has towards Jacob. And Jacob ain't got to be doing shit. Jacob be sitting on the porch. Police ride by and get in his feelings. That's that white fragility. Yeah, it is. That's that fragility. You're fragile, spiritually, emotionally. As a matter of fact, you're not even spiritual. Israelites are spiritual. Esau is carnal. But you're still weak because you are so easily moved, emotional. You could be having a perfect day. So as you see a so-called J, your day just go from sugar to shit in your feelings. Oh, he think he all that. No, we don't think shit. The Lord says we all that. If you don't like it, you take it over to the Lord. If you that bold. Psalm chapter 94, verse 20. Shall the throne of iniquity have fellowship with thee, which frameth mischief by law? Point made. Proverbs chapter 14, verse 17. He that is soon angry dealeth foolishly, and a man of wicked devices is hated. That man is Esau Edom. And the Tinky Winkies over there in Ireland, you know, they so sensitive. Words, words. So they little punk ass Tinky Winkies. Proverbs chapter 14, verse 25. A true witness delivers souls, but a deceitful witness speaketh lies. Let's see what else. Yeah, let's see that one. State that one. Just going through, making sure I hit all the points. Habakkuk. We can get this one. Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 16. Thou art filled with shame for glory. See, they was proud of all that violence they committed toward us. Now they get exposed for it, and the world is being shown that they've had a history of doing shit like this because in their blood they've always been murderers and liars and thieves. The Lord said it himself. Matter of fact, let's get it. Now y'all know who he was talking about. Let me get it real quick. John chapter 10, verse 10. The thief cometh not, but for to steal and to kill and to destroy. I am come that they might have life and that they might have it more abundantly. That's why the Lord coming through to get rid of y'all. So we can have life and we can have it more abundantly. Nobody kills, steals, and destroys like Esau. It's obvious. Nobody else fits this description. Sirach chapter 27, verse 24. I have hated many things, but nothing like him. For the Lord Yahweh will hate him. Christians. Some of y'all go as far as calling the Lord a lie because you want to love your enemy. Well, you go ahead and you die with it. What's written is written. These people, the Lord said these people going into captivity, that's what's going to happen. You got a problem with that, feel free to join. Ecclesiastes chapter 12, chapter 8, verse 12. Though a sinner do evil 100 times and his days be prolonged, yet surely I know it shall be well favored with them that fear Yahweh, which fear before him. Verse 13. But it shall not be well with the wicked, neither shall he prolong his days, which are the shadow, because he feareth not before Yahweh. Proverbs chapter 21, verse 7. The robbery of the wicked shall destroy them because they refuse to do judgment, righteous judgment. Ezekiel chapter 22, verse 29. The people of the land have used oppression and exercised robbery and have vexed the poor and needy. Yet they have oppressed the stranger wrongfully. That's Esau through his police departments and other Edomite agencies. Whenever you see them any three letters, those three letters spell Esau. I don't care. You take your pick of whatever three letters you want to. For example, DEA, that spells Esau. ATF, that spells Esau. He hides behind these letters. DHR, CPS, all spells Esau. CIA, that spells Esau. NYPD, that spells Esau. But see, he likes to hide behind these titles, these acronyms. So you people don't think the opposite. It's not an agency. This is a nation of people against us hiding under these different names and titles and labels and acronyms. Nobody loves acronyms like Esau. Romans chapter 1, verse 32. Who knowing the judgment of Yahweh, that they which commit such things are worthy of death, not only do the same, but have pleasure in them that do them. See? That's why he can't learn righteousness, because he having too much fun putting us to death. But it's about to come back round to that end. See, that's the spirit right there. Check this out. Psalm chapter 37, verse 32. The wicked watcheth the righteous and seeketh to slay him. You notice Esau ain't pulling over no other nation but us with that bullshit. It doesn't happen in no other nation. Perpetual hate. That's why the scriptures tell us not to never trust thine enemy. Because see, Esau don't hate other nations like he hates us. But I never understood that dynamic either. How the hell you want to be something that you hate? Or is it that you're using our credentials to get what you want? It don't matter. You're going to be punished for it all. Isaiah chapter 59, verse 7. Their feet run to evil, and they make haste to shed innocent blood. Their thoughts are thoughts of iniquity. Wasting and destruction are in their paths. Everywhere they go, somebody dies, but nobody goes to jail. While you good cops at? If there were good cops out there, this wouldn't be happening. You and your partner pull over a so-called black man. For some reason, the body cams then went offline, and when they come back on, the black man's dead. But nobody goes to jail. Now, if there was a good cop anywhere in the equation, the murderer would be in jail, cop or not. But no, I can't rat out my boy. No, I can't rat out my partner. Well, you guess what? You're not a good cop because somebody innocent died by his hand and you did nothing. So miss me with the bullshit. Genesis chapter 9, verse 6. Whoso sheddeth man's blood, by man shall his blood be shed. For the image of Yahweh made he man. Yeah, y'all ain't got away with shit. Numbers chapter 35. No, verse 19. The revenger of blood himself shall slay the murderer. When he meeteth him, he shall slay him. Numbers chapter 35, verse 21. Or in enmity smite him with his hand, that he die. That he smote him shall surely be put to death, for he is a murderer. The revenger of blood shall slay the murderer when he meeteth him. Now, this scripture mentioned the word enmity. Let's get the word enmity. Let's get a definition. Enmity, the state or feeling of being actively opposed or hostile to someone or something. Animosity, synonyms, hostility, friction, rivalry, conflict, contention, dislike, bitterness, ill will, hate, hatred, abhorrence, loathing. Yeah, that's enmity. That's what the Lord put between Jacob and Esau. That built-in hate. Now, we don't hate Esau like he hates us. It's the shit that he does and the shit that he says that makes us want to put his ass in chains, Yahweh. But we don't wake up in the morning hating nobody. Not like these motherfuckers. They go to sleep thinking about how to get away with some shit, how to get over on somebody. And most of it be towards us. They ain't thinking about no other nation like they think about us. You know why? Because they can't stop talking about it. My folks always said if somebody talking about you, they thinking about you. So no, they can't stop thinking about us because they can't stop talking about us. Because they know that ass whooping is coming down the pipe. Obadiah chapter 1, verse 15. For the day of the Lord is near upon all the heathens, as thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee. Thy reward shall return upon thine own head. You ain't got away with nothing. Matter of fact, you made your judgment worse by coming against us without cause. Sirach chapter 27, verse 27. He that worketh mischief, it shall fall upon him, and he shall not know whence it cometh. That's gonna have your ass lose sleep at night. When the Lord gonna issue payback. That's why you're so worried. But I got news for you, Esau. Ain't no sense in worried about something that you can't control. He gonna slap them chains on you when he slap them chains on you. He gonna give you no date. He wanna catch you by surprise. Sirach chapter 27, verse 30. Malice and wrath, even these are abominations, and the sinful man shall have both. Proverbs chapter 26, verse 25. When he speaketh fair, believeth him not, for there are 7 abominations in his heart, 7 mean completion. Verse 26. Whose hatred is covered by deceit, his wickedness shall be showed before the whole congregation. And that's happening right now. That's why the whole world turning against Esau and the punk ass Tinky Winkies. That spirit, Jeremiah chapter 49, verse 10. But I have made Esau bare, I have uncovered his secret places. He shall not be able to hide himself and see the spoil and his brother and his neighbor, and he is not. And because he the one doing the spoil, and spoil means to rob. And hell yeah, they pulled over people and robbed them, planted shit on them, false accusing. Mm. Proverbs chapter 26, verse 28. A lying tongue hateth those that are afflicted by it, and a flattering mouth worketh ruin. Now let's break the scripture down. A lying tongue hateth those that are afflicted by it. That means if this man lies on you, he hates you. Esau cares more about seeing you in trouble than his own welfare. Prime example. Esau starts some shit with a Jake, right? Police show up. Both of them go to jail. Jake and Esau. But guess what? Esau ain't mad. Esau is happy because he got you in trouble, Jake. He don't mind at all, as long as he got to you. That's what's important to Esau because he's emotional in his feelings. He want to see you hurt. He want to see you fucked up. Matter of fact, if it's a smile on Jake's face, that's the goddamn problem, Esau. That's how deep his hate goes for you, Jake. Jeremiah chapter 13, verse 26. Can the Ethiopian change his skin or the leopard his spots? Then ye may do good that are accustomed to doing evil. Now, we all know Ethiopians cannot change their skin. The leopard cannot change his spots. So Esau cannot do good. If he could, he would have did it a long time ago instead of waxing worse. Second Ezra chapter 6, verse 9, for Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that follow it. Psalm chapter 73, verse 17. Until I went into the sanctuary of your house, then understood I their end. Meaning, until you get the full understanding of this book and not that bullshit they teach you in church, you will know that it doesn't matter what Esau does or says, he's still going into captivity for 1,000 years. And after that, he's going to be exterminated. If Esau could change his prophecy, where does the Lord's power lie? See what I'm saying? All Esau lies are being uncovered. Just like when they be talking about in church how they chose cheese and rice. They chose the white boy. If you have the freedom and the power to choose the Lord, then wouldn't that make the Lord powerless? Because the fact of the matter is, you don't choose the Lord, he chooses you. So no, human, you don't have power. Esau, you have power. Your power lies in lies. If anybody believes you, they empower you. If people don't believe that bullshit you say, you are powerless. It's all right, though. Give my favorite two scripts, and then we're going to close. Ezekiel chapter 25, Verse 13. Therefore, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, I will stretch out mine hand upon Edom, and I will cut off man and beast from it, and I will make it desolate from its land, and they of the Don shall fall by the sword. Those are all Edomites, by the way. Verse 14. And I will lay my vengeance upon Edom by the hand of my people Israel. They shall do in Edom according to my anger and according to my fury, and they shall know my vengeance, saith the Lord Yahweh. Y'all ain't got away with shit. Matter of fact, all this wickedness y'all doing just making your punishment worse. But oh well, the Lord wanted to be worse on you. That's why He's continuing to let you wax worse and worse, so He can be justified to put foot to ass, no questions asked. Call all out by Shimmy Hawashah, Mashiach, Wamalaki, by Shem Harawak, Kakodash, Barakatham, the water by Bawa, Kwam Yashra. Shalom.